Hey, what's going on, everyone? Greg here. And how are you doing? Seriously, are you taking care of yourself? Are your New Year's resolutions going okay? Listen, I care about you, and I just want to make sure that you're doing good. So, if you need someone to talk to, leave a comment down below, because I'm here for you. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for some free personal therapy or iPhone videos. Probably iPhone videos. And speaking of the iPhone 11 is still around, holding up strong in 2021 at a reduced price point of $600. That's $100 cheaper than when Apple released the iPhone 11 in 2019. But should you really be buying more than a year-old iPhone in 2021? Well, unlike in previous years, buying the iPhone 11 is signing up for a design that is now noticeably older than the previous models, because for the most part, the iPhone 10, the iPhone XR, and 11 series all looked pretty similar for the last 3 years. But the iPhone 12 brings enough design refreshes with its flatter edges and reduced bezels to make it look different. The iPhone 11 is also a bit thicker, and if you put the phone side by side, you can see that even though both the iPhone 12 and iPhone 11 have the same 6.1-inch display size, the 11 has a bigger footprint. Side by side, you'll notice some of these design changes pretty instantly. But are the changes big enough for you to consider spending more money for an iPhone 12? And realistically, what are the differences here between the iPhone 11, which is $200 less than the iPhone 12? Is it just slightly bigger bezels? And before you tell me that the iPhone 12 is only $100 more than the iPhone 11, that's also not necessarily true, because for $100 more, you get the iPhone 12 mini. And while that is an iPhone 12, and honestly that is the size and model I prefer, that isn't a replacement for the regular iPhone 11. That falls to the regular sized iPhone 12, which also has that 6.1-inch display size just like the iPhone 11. And it seems like going for a bigger phone is what most people want, as we're seeing quite a few reports mention that the iPhone 12 mini isn't selling as well as the other iPhone 12 models. So from that data, it seems pretty easy to draw a conclusion that most buyers want a bigger size phone. And despite the iPhone 12 mini's attractive price point, it's still not the phone most consumers are actively looking for. So with the mini out of the conversation, you have a choice between a year-old iPhone 11 at $600 and the new iPhone 12 at $800. So realistically, what are you giving up if you choose to go for the iPhone 11? First of all, the display. The biggest difference in user experience between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 is going to be the differences in display technology. The iPhone 11 uses what Apple calls a liquid retina LCD display, which is basically just an LCD display with rounded corners. This display comes in at a resolution of 1792 by 828 with 326 pixels per inch. Now, while the iPhone 12 has the same screen size, it has a resolution of 2532 by 1170 with 460 pixels per inch. Now, while this might sound like a huge difference on paper, for most people, at normal viewing distances, as in not holding the phone directly up to your face to pixel peep, you should be fine with everyday use and not notice individual pixels as long as you're holding the phone at a reasonable viewing distance, which is how people use their phone. So I wouldn't be concerned with the resolution differences between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12. With that being said, there are differences between the OLED and LCD displays. First of all, OLED displays can turn off individual pixels because they are all self-lit, while LCD displays rely on a backlight to light up these pixels and therefore can't turn them off individually or turn them on individually like you could on an OLED display. This means that an OLED display can pinpoint which areas should be dark for complete black, while an LCD display can't. For example, if I bring up a black picture, you can see the backlight is still active on the iPhone 11, making the black area look washed out, while on the iPhone 12, it appears like the display is completely off, even though you can see that the phone is still turned on. Now, You probably aren't just loading up black rectangles on your phone and looking at them all day long, but this technology brings real-world benefits like deeper black levels, better contrast ratios, and overall better picture quality. And on the iPhone, it gives you the ability to view HDR content. In fact, if you watch a lot of movies on streaming services like Netflix or Disney Plus, or another application that supports HDR video, the OLED display on the 12 makes a big difference. However, if you watch most of your videos on YouTube, like, hey, you're watching this one right now, so you probably spend way too much time on YouTube, it's okay. This is a safe space. I'm not judging you. But depending on the videos you watch, it actually might not make a huge difference. Does that mean that the iPhone 11's display is bad? No, actually, I really like the LCD display on the iPhone 11. And for an LCD display, I still think it looks great. And I could switch to it tomorrow, no problem. And there's even some downsides to going with the iPhone 12's OLED display if you have sensitive eyes, as the OLED display on the iPhone 12 uses pulse width modulation to control brightness levels, and that can cause flickering at lower brightness levels that could cause headaches or eye strain in some users. As nice as an OLED display might look, you might actually choose to go with the iPhone's 11 display for your own comfort. One benefit I also want to give the iPhone 11 is the battery life, which still holds up really well against the iPhone 12, as they have around the same battery life, and the iPhone 11 will actually have better battery life than the newly released iPhone 12 mini, and of course the cheaper iPhone SE and iPhone XR. The processor in the iPhone 11 is still pretty great too. With its A13 chip, it is still faster than any of the flagship Android phones on the market right now, and will probably outscore them even as we go into the new year. So the iPhone 11 can still play the latest games at highest settings, run all of your apps without feeling slow or sluggish, and with 4 GB of RAM, the same as the iPhone 12, you really don't have to worry about the iPhone 11 being left in the dust with future software updates. Speaking of which, the iPhone 11 also gets iOS 14 with its refreshed look and increased customization with features like widgets. In fact, I think in the next few years, we're going to see more features come from software changes, if you buy this iPhone 11, rather than hardware changes, and the iPhone 11 is going to get software updates for at least the next 4 years, if not more. The camera is also still really good on the iPhone 11, especially the main wide-angle lens, and if you take pictures mostly in outdoor lighting, I think the iPhone 11 and iPhone 12 photos look pretty close to each other. The 11 also has night mode on the wide-angle lens, so it's still good to use even in lower light situations. The ultra-wide-angle lens is a different story though, and while it still does a good job with plenty of light, for lower light shots, you miss a lot of the advancements Apple has made with adding its computational night mode features on the ultra-wide that is exclusive to the iPhone 12 series. So if you take a lot of lower light shots with the ultra-wide angle lens, the iPhone 12 is a big upgrade here. There's also Dolby Vision HDR video on the iPhone 12, which does look great, but like I've explained in previous videos, you're probably not going to take full advantage of it, as most of the sites you can upload these videos to don't play them back in HDR, but if you watch a lot of home movies that you shot yourself on your iPhone, they do look really good on the display. And then there's 5G. The absolutely best feature on the iPhone 12. It will give you blazing fast cellular speeds of up to 2 gigabits per second, letting you game anywhere from the cloud and 0 latency. And it'll pay your bills, it'll send you to Mars, and it will give us true world peace. That's what the wireless companies would want you to think. However, 5G in 2021, after months of the iPhone 12 being out now, it just still isn't ready. And believe it or not, there's actually articles recommending you turn off 5G if you're on Verizon or AT&T's network to get faster cellular speeds. Yes, turn off this new 5G feature for faster speeds. You're not hearing that wrong. And in fact, in my testing, I found that to be possibly true, as sometimes the 4G LTE speeds are just as fast or faster than what I was getting on 5G with AT&T service. So maybe 5G might improve in the future. Maybe that might take a year or 2 years. I really don't know. But as of the making of this video, I think there's absolutely zero reason to go rush out and buy a 5G phone. All right. So should you still pick up this iPhone 11 in 2021? Yes, it's still a great phone that delivers a good value for the money. It doesn't get the newest design and lacks some of the nice upgrades to the iPhone 12. But at $200 less, it's still a practical choice for people who want a good phone at a lower cost, and I think that's a lot of you out there. All right, everyone, and that's what I think of the iPhone 11 in 2021. Hopefully you found this video helpful if you were considering picking one up. And if the video was helpful, show your appreciation by gently poking that like button with a 36-foot pole. And also subscribe for more videos like where we explore if the iPod Touch is still worth it in 2021. Maybe I should make that video. Maybe. No. Maybe. Anyway, also check out the links in the description to find links to my Twitter, my Instagram, and some affiliate links if you want to buy some stuff. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Maybe iPod Touch in 2021. Should I do that? Maybe.